Now, an Israeli airstrike outside the Syrian capital Damascus has killed a senior member of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. Sardar Sayed Razi Musavi was one of the top commanders of the IRGC. Let's get more on this from our correspondent Ali Hashim. He is joining us from Nakura in southern Lebanon. Firstly, Ali, what more are you hearing about this strike?
Well, just afternoon today, there was an Israeli strike on a target near the Al Zainabiyya neighborhood to the south of Damascus. Later on, we understood that Sayyid Razi al-Musawi, who is also known as Sayyid Razi, was the target of this Israeli attack. As a matter of fact, Sayyid Razi al-Musawi is one of the oldest IRGC commanders in Syria and Lebanon. He's been functioning in this area since the 80s, so since the beginning of the Islamic Revolution. He and several other IRGC commanders came to this region, and later on he became so close to the slain Quds commander, IRGC commander Qasim Soleimani, who was also assassinated 3 years ago in Baghdad. According to our sources, Razi al-Musawi was target to several assassination attempts by Israel. However, this was the time when the assassination attempt succeeded. The Israelis accuse him of being an instrumental figure within the network of arms smuggling from Iran to Syria, to Iraq, to Syria, and to end with Hezbollah in Lebanon, and also as a very influential within the axis, what Iran calls the so-called axis of resistance. And of course, we'll hear more maybe in the coming days about whether there is also another role that...
So we understand that Israel has said that their main objective is to destroy Hamas. Well, right now we want to report to you exactly why that won't be so easy to do. We have a report that was delivered several years ago by General Gholam Ali Rashid, commander of Khatam al-Anbiya. Okay? He says in the 1980s they lacked security and defense alliances with other governments and countries. Today they have connected with other nations and some governments, thus creating popular, religious, devout regional forces. 3 months before the martyrdom of Hajj Qasim Soleimani, he said, with the backing of the IRGC Command, the Army Command, the General Command of the Armed Forces, and the Defense Ministry, I have assembled 6 armies outside of Iran's territory, and I have created a corridor of 1,500 kilometers long and 1,000 kilometers wide, all the way to the shores of the Mediterranean Sea. In this corridor, there are 6 religiously devout and popular divisions. An enemy that decides to fight against the Islamic Revolution and against the regime of the Islamic Republic of Iran will have to go through these 6 armies, and they will not be able to do so. One army is in Lebanon. It is called Hezbollah. Another army is in Palestine, and it is called Hamas and Islamic Jihad. One army is in Syria. Another army is in Iraq, and it is called the PMU, and another army is in Yemen, and it is called Ansarullah Houthi. This has created deterrence in the service of our dear Iran. The anger of trespassing Americans of the Zionist regime with regard to Iran's regional power stems from their realization that the Islamic Republic of Iran possesses 2 elements of power. The first is a powerful armed force, which is ready for battle and prepared to defend within Iran's territory against any foreign invader. And the second is a regional force outside of Iran's territory. These are important factors to realize why Israel is not going to just be able to get rid of Hamas. There is a 6-army coalition that it faces if it wants to defend its territory and also if it wants to rid itself of Hamas. So what does this mean? This means that we're looking at an imminent all-out confrontation with Iran. This means the United States and whatever allies will agree to come on board. This means the nation and state of Israel, and this also means the entire Middle East. And this is going to also bleed into Africa. where we already have several conflicts brewing and boiling over right now. And so with this in mind, we understand that it's going to be extremely difficult, if not impossible, for Israel to rid itself of Hamas. Now, this whole confrontation has serious prophetic implications. As we see airstrikes happening in Syria, as we see Hezbollah involved in the war, as we see Said Houthi and the fire that's coming out of Yemen, helping to gather and galvanize this great war. Prophecy is being fulfilled while we watch it, because all of these events have been foretold in Scripture and Hadith. This is the latest. Stay updated. Thanks for watching.